So these assault laws in Colorado, you got 18.3.202 assault in the first degree, 18.3.203, 18.3.204 assault in the first degree, assault in the second degree, and assault in the third degree. Now, assault in the first degree, this is when you intend to harm somebody. You intend to harm somebody and you cause serious bodily injury. The two distinctions that they make is just regular bodily injury and serious bodily injury. So the first degree assault is when you intend to harm somebody with a deadly weapon and you do so. And it's serious bodily injury with a deadly weapon and with intent. Also, if you intend to disfigure somebody and you cause serious bodily injury, SBI, or if you are careless and you use extreme indifference and you cause SBI, or if you're choking or strangling somebody and you cause SBI. So if you cause serious bodily injury to citizens, if you if you have intent with a deadly weapon, if you have intent to disfigure, if you have intent, to choke or strangle, or if you have extreme indifference and ultimately serious bodily injury resulted, that's assault in the first degree. You cause serious bodily injury, that's assault in the first degree. Now, you could also just threaten a judge or a cop or a firefighter or an EMS worker or a jailer while you're in custody. If you just merely threaten a judge or a cop or a firefighter or an EMS or a jailer while in custody. If you just threaten that you're going to, hurt them, that's assault in the first degree too. So it's a class 3 felony if it's not provoked. It's a class 5 felony if it was provoked. So that's assault in the first degree. Assault in the second degree is bodily injury with a deadly weapon, bodily injury or serious bodily injury is caused to a person in order to stop a cop or firefighter or EMS worker from doing their lawful duty. Not if you attack the cop or the police officer, but if you attack somebody else in order to stop, well, I guess if you stop them too. But the main thing is a cop, firefighter, EMS workers trying to do their job, and bodily injury or serious bodily injury is caused to anybody else or anybody. It is caused to them or anybody in order to stop them from doing their job. That's assault in the second degree. When you cause bodily injury with a deadly weapon, that's also assault in the second degree. If you cause serious bodily injury with a deadly weapon, that's assault in the first degree, and that's assault in the second degree. You're not allowed to drug people into unconsciousness. You can't drug people into a stupor. That's a second degree assault. You cannot violently use physical force against a jailer while you're in custody. That's a second degree assault. Violently using physical force against a jailer while in custody is a second degree assault. Also, if you have intent and you're choking somebody and bodily injury happens, that's second degree assault too. And let's see, there's no protections for homophobes or transphobes or something about if it's done in the passion and the heat of passion, if the victim said or did something and the person, lashes out, shouldn't have lashed out, but they did lash out, then it's a lesser charge. It's just a class 5 felony, not a class 3 felony. But you can't say that the passion, you were so pissed off that the person, was a gay man or a transgendered man or woman, and they, gave you googly eyes. If it wasn't forcible, if they didn't lay their hands on you, if they didn't, force themselves on you, just some flirty gesture, that is not justification for you to fly into a rage and to go around assaulting people with or without a deadly weapon. As in, assault to me would be a person who violently attacks another person with physical violence. You violently attack the person with physical violence. That's an assault or an attempted assault, right? He assaulted me. How do you do that? By threatening to assault me? Well, it's not really an assault now, is it? It's more of a threat to assault. And then assault in the third degree is when you knowingly or recklessly cause bodily injury. Or cause bodily injury due to negligence with a deadly weapon. So, the intent doesn't have to be there with the deadly weapon. Oops, I dropped the gun, it shot you. That's assault in the third degree. Bodily injury, if you cause bodily injury knowingly or recklessly, that's assault in the third degree. Whether you did it on purpose or accidentally, doesn't matter, but ultimately it's the ends. Bodily injury has to occur. There's also this, both was this little law. This little line here is tucked in both the third and the second degree assault. And it says, for a second degree assault, for a third degree assault, you're not allowed to throw blood, semen, or mucus on other people or any toxic chemicals. If you throw blood, semen, or mucus on people, that's a third degree assault. But if you throw blood, semen, and mucus on a jailer while you're in custody, that's assault in the second degree. So it's kind of crazy that just over and over again. So those are the laws. Those are the laws of Colorado, 18.3, 202, 18.3, 202, 203, and 204. The three assaults: first degree, second degree, and third degree assault. Now for the commentary. This is so, weird to me that if you throw blood and semen and mucus on just some regular citizen, that's just a third degree assault. Well, he threw blood at me, and then he threw mucus, and then he threw his semen. He really got you with the trifecta, didn't he? Blood, semen, mucus. So you can't do that to a regular person on the streets, right? You do that on the street, that's a third degree assault. But if you're in custody, if you're in jail, and you do the same thing, then that's a second degree assault. So it's incredible that the system protects themselves way more than they protect the rest of us. They're like, hey, did you just throw blood, semen, and mucus at that guy? Well, that's a third degree assault. That's a third degree assault. Throwing blood at somebody is a third degree assault on the fucking streets. I mean, in jail, the jailer's sitting there pounding on the poor prisoners and shit. Hell, they might, yell at them and they might have some spittle come out of their mouth or some shit. That's a second degree assault. Did you see that? I was sitting there beating him up and yelling at him, and I was spittle was coming all up, but he said it back to me and some spit come back to me. That's a second degree assault. How dare he fight back when I'm beating him up? So the damn jailers, oppressing the shit out of the prisoners, so it seems like shit could happen. It also seems like it'd be easy to, provoke a person. But why would you get extra protection? Why wouldn't that be an assault in the third degree? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. So if you throw blood on a citizen on the street, that's just an assault in the third degree. But if you throw, blood at a jailer, well, that's an assault in the second degree. Because jailers are that much more important than the rest of us? No, it's fucking bullshit. You throw blood, semen, and mucus on somebody, it's the same for everybody. Assault in the third, assault in the second. Yeah, that's a second degree assault. But that's not the legal definition. It won't hold up. But, Your Honor, he threw blood, semen, and mucus at me. Well, says here that you're just a citizen. You weren't a jailer at the time? No. You were just a citizen peacefully going about your day? Uh-huh. Right. So that means it's just assault in the third degree. You're not as important as a jailer. And they don't just do that once, they do it twice and 3 times. And there's let's see, no injuring others, for the people. So when it comes to the assault in the first degree, you have, for the people, you have to have serious bodily injury in order for assault in the first degree to be pressed. So, it's not just, it's not about attacking the person. It's about not being injured. It reminds me of this lady who was talking about how a Kentucky police officer had told her parents that you're allowed to spank your kids, just don't leave any marks on them. So don't leave any evidence, right? You're allowed to spank your kids, just don't. So that's nice, right? Goddamn cop basically saying how you're allowed to, if you're going to abuse children, just don't leave any damn marks, no bruises, no cuts. And that's what Colorado law is for adults. For citizens, unless there's bodily injury or serious bodily injury, the assault did not take place if they just merely attacked you. They attacked you, but no injury took place, not an assault. They attacked you and there wasn't serious bodily injury, there wasn't a little bodily injury, there was no scratches, no bruises. That's not an assault. In order for assault 1, 2, or 3 to be pressed, there has to be an injury. Serious bodily injury, regular bodily injury, some kind of injury. Unless it's against a judge or a jailer or a cop or a firefighter or EMS worker. If you just merely threaten violence, just threaten to use physical force, violent physical force, on a judge, cop, fire, EMS, or jailer when you're in custody, judge, cop, firefighter, EMS in general, or a jailer when you're in custody, then that's assault in the first degree. Just a threat? Just a threat. So that means nobody actually physically attacked you. So for a citizen, you actually have to, you got to show that, hey, look, I don't, he cut off my hand. He cut off my hand. I don't have a hand. That's assault in the first. That's assault in the third degree. Well, was it justified? What? What was it justified? So the was the heat of passion? Was it the homophobia? What are you asking me, motherfucker? This heinous, terrible thing that just happened. No, the motherfucker is a sick, sadistic motherfucker, and he just wants to. So yeah, a motherfucker comes in and they got a nail in their head, like in that Adam Sandler movie. A citizen has to be injured, and you got to have, I guess, proof of the injury. To me, an assault is somebody attempted a physical attack. If somebody swings a punch at you and you block it, that was an attempted assault. And I think you would have a right to attack back. That person is trying to physically harm you. So that's an assault, is a violent physical attack. Now, Colorado law says you have to have, some injuries. Unless you're a judge, a cop, a firefighter, an EMS worker, or a jailer, when the person's in custody, all they got to do is just threaten you. If you're just a judge and he threatened physical violence. He said he was going to do it. Well, that's assault in the first degree. And that's what they say about the jailer in custody if you violently use physical force against the jailer. And that's, there's some contradiction right there for the system. If you use violent physical force against the jailer while in custody, that's just assault in the second degree. But if you threaten to use violence, against the jailer when in custody. That's assault in the first degree. You actually have to use violence, and then that's a lesser charge. There's a lot of inconsistencies with Colorado law. Also, negligence with a deadly weapon if you injure the person. So, if you have a deadly weapon and you aim it at the person, but you don't actually hit, well, that's not an assault. So there you go. That's those are Colorado's assault in the first, assault in the second, assault in the third degree. If you're a citizen, there has to be bodily injury or serious bodily injury. And then there's other things too, right? Assault in the third degree, if somebody throws blood, semen, or mucus or toxic chemicals at you, that's assault in the third degree. If somebody tries to drug you into a stupor or into unconsciousness, that's assault in the second degree. If you try to stop a police officer or a firefighter or EMS worker from doing their job and you injure them or somebody else around them with bodily injury or serious bodily injury, that's also assault in the second degree. So what that tells me is like if the person goes to pick up the phone to call the police and you hurt that person, then that's assault in the second degree. If the firefighter goes to the scene and they, run in to go save the cat and you attack that person or something or attack somebody else for some other reason to make sure that guy doesn't go in there to save the cat, I don't know. But that's, to stop a police officer or a firefighter or an EMS worker from doing their lawful duty, some person got bodily injured. Their body got injured. And then with assault in the first degree, it's serious bodily injury. So assault in the third degree is just bodily injury. Assault in the first degree is serious bodily injury, for the citizens. All you have to do is just threaten, the judge. Oh, he threatened me. Motherfucker, I had to get serious bodily injury for assault in the first degree. And you're just going to say, hey, he just said that he was going to hurt you? Yeah, it sucks, doesn't it? You don't like it when people fucking threaten you, huh? So judges don't have to, live in fear of people threatening to assault them, but the rest of us do. Jailers don't have to live in fear of anybody physically attacking them or threatening them, but the rest of us do. They can threaten us, they can attack us, but if there's no bodily injury or serious bodily injury, if there's no marks, then technically speaking, it's not an assault. It's something else in Colorado. So for assault 1, if you cause serious bodily injury by extreme indifference, by choking, by trying to disfigure or amputate, or with a deadly weapon, if you intend to cause serious bodily injury and you cause it, that's assault in the first degree. Or if you just, threaten a firefighter, hey, you better go in there and save my cat. Did you just threaten me? Yeah, I'm telling you, you better go save my do your damn job, right? Well, then I'm going to go do my job. Oh, you're going to stop me? Well, that's assault in the first and assault in the second. And then I wonder about all those violent piece of shit criminal motherfuckers that don't waste their time for a moment trying to learn the law, trying to be a good person, trying to do. There's also crime of violence enhancements too. So I feel like if you actually would strengthen the assault laws, you wouldn't need the crime of violence enhancements. Because it seems to me assault 1, 2, and 3, it's just the injury. Anyways. So there you go. 18.3, 202, 203, and 204. Assault in the first, second, and degree. First, second, third degree in the state of Colorado.